loves, welcome back to another reactionary video with your girl Sarah, and today we are working on the season finale of The Promised Land, and I am excited. I should also forewarn, I am extremely exhausted and really would rather be crashing tonight, like just going to sleep, but it is Thursday, which means it is the last day of the week for me to record, and I have been postponing it, so tonight is the night I am going to have to record. So we are going to get through this together. Hopefully I am energetic enough to give a decent reaction and commentary and not kind of like a zoning out and into the show. I will try to keep a mental note of keep thoughts outside, because sometimes I just have to remind myself of keep thoughts on the outside, because that is the entertainment you guys are coming for. And I also I'm trying to not wear my headbands as much. I have sensory issues, so sometimes I can just be very reliant on wearing headbands because it keeps my hair out of my face. But I like my hair, so it got to the point to where I would wake up in the morning and put on a headband like instantly, when it used to be just more so during the evening. So I've been trying to break myself from needing a headband so much, because I didn't always. They are just very helpful with sensory issues. So I've been leaning into that more. So I've just been causing myself to just rely on it more and feel like I need it more than I actually do. And so even though there's been an annoyance to begin with of not wearing my headband as much, I've been trying to, I guess, self-check of, do I really need it, or can I just wait a couple seconds, occupy myself, and then I'll forget that my hair's down? Because that's been more or less what the problem is I've been paying attention to my hair more instead of just using it when it is to the point where even when I'm trying to not pay attention to it, that's all I'm paying attention to. And that's what I try to do to begin with, is just use it for when it's just like my hair on my neck is too much right now, so I need to put it up. So I'm trying to break myself from that. So that is why the hair is down today. It is a bit messy because I do have curly hair, but it's that kind of awkward curly hair to where it's just like after a day or two wash, it's definitely half flat, half curly. So it's a mess, but it is a maintained mess. So that is what we have. And oh, other side note, last time, it might have been the time before, there was a time to where I mentioned, I'm doing this now because I know if I do it within the commentary, I'm not going to put the notes that I need to, because if it's the full length, I don't put the notes in like I do when I do the condensed form, because I more or less edit the first part, align the video to the reaction and the last part, and then cut out commercials or whatever is, because pro tip, if you are reacting to something that has commercial breaks, pre-record it. That's what I've been doing, is pre-recording these Promised Land episodes and anything that has commercial breaks, so that way when I do put the videos together, I can just record or edit the first half or first intro and then align it with my reaction, and then just take notes while I'm reacting of when I need to go back to cut, and then just basically cut the commercial breaks out, and it makes it a lot easier to not edit as much for the full length. So that is why, if you ever watch the full length, why I don't have the same editing in there, like as far as if I do more deep dives or more notes or whatever, scripture, whatnot, I do it in the condensed form, but I don't do it in the long form because it's just easier for me that way. I prefer it that way. So you get a lot more editing me in the condensed form. So that being the case, so it'll be easier remembering in post editing, while editing, I'm going to go ahead and mention right now, Caleb's age is not accurate. I'm not saying that as a diss to the show. I just mentioned before of I liked how it was, he was a younger Caleb, because that's what I presumed. Caleb was supposed to be younger, Caleb and Joshua, that they weren't supposed to be under 20, but they were supposed to fall near that cutoff because they were in the adult side of 40-year wilderness will die off, but these two will not. I always presumed they were on the younger side. That is not the case. Technically, Joshua could be considered more on the younger side, but notes, I was doing a Bible study, and that was something I was curious about, which is actually pretty fun when you do biblical series and stuff where you actually watch things like this. It makes when you do walk through the Bible, you have more questions. And so I've been trying to be more intentional about when I do have a question of myself, of like, hey, I wonder what this is, not to leave it at just a, hey, I wonder what this is, and actually be like, okay, well, let me take 2 seconds to actually Google it, since I do my Bible study on my phone usually anyway. It takes 2 seconds and it adds more depth into your Bible study. Like, there's a lot of questions that I've been getting answered, and actually, like, getting more into Bible study. Like, I try to do Bible study every day. Like, I do 3 different Bible plans. I do a year of the Bible. I know this is a lot, but this is how I do it because it does well. I do a year in the Bible. I used to do strictly, or like not strictly, but I tended to lean more towards the audio because it helped me more, of a year in the Bible and a 6 months in the Bible. Doing the whole Bible in 6 months, doing the whole Bible in a year, and I kind of alternate them to where I like to have it to where I like to be in multiple parts of the Bible at the same time. It is very fun for me also when it is I'm going through the New Testament and the Old Testament at the same time, because I enjoy the Gospels. I like to do multiple different Bible plans. So I do a year in the Bible and a 6 month in the Bible. And I also do a personal study of 1 chapter a day as well. And if they're short, sometimes I'll do a couple chapters a day of it, of diving more into, I'll read it, or I'll do the audio first and then repeat the chapter in, like, reading it in 2 different versions, usually NLT and an alternate. Right now it's the ESV alongside it because that's one that I enjoy as well. But digging into the Bible deeper that way is always fun way, so I like to do it in spurts of 3 Bible plans, basically having one that's sped up, one that's a little bit moderate, and one that's a little bit more getting at the nit and gritty. But I've also been doing it to where I do, as you will learn, when I'm tired, I tend to ramble. So this is your enjoyment. But I was doing for the year of the Bible and with the 6 months plans doing audio. And then this year, or not this year, it was last year when I started doing it. It might have been after my last sabbatical. I don't know. At one point, I just felt like the Lord putting on me to actually start reading the Bible more, of instead of just having the audio, that the audio is good. There's nothing bad against audio, and it did help me for a time, and I still do get very much benefits of doing the audio Bible, but having as well of upping my reading of the Bible as well, on so I'm not just reading it with the 1 chapter a day, but actually reading the basically 3 chapters a day, because when you do a year in the Bible, it tends to roughly be 3 chapters. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but it's usually revolving around 3 chapters. So basically reading 3 chapters a day alongside doing the 6 month plan and everything else. And that has been another step that I started doing this year, of on top of that, is just digging into, when I am reading it, actually stopping and trying to answer those questions and doing that. And one of the times going through it, I was questioning Caleb's age, because I was like, you know what, I'm wondering what Caleb's age is and what Joshua's age is. And I found out that he was actually 40. There is more evidence of him actually saying he was 40. So that's more definitive. But it's more presumed that Joshua's age, we don't really get a hard set how old he was before the 40-year stint. So Joshua was actually most likely the younger one between them two, and he was actually most likely closer to 30. They were both older than younger, more or less, I guess, is what a really long ramble roundabout way that I was going to. But yes, let's go ahead and get on into this before I ramble much more than I have already.
Pharaoh! This enslavement of my people has gone on long enough.
I'm betting they're playing around role playing or something, or replaying it.
You can't make me.
I'm Moses, son of Amram.
And I'm Aaron, son of Amram.
And in a few weeks, we are going to free the people of Israel from Pharaoh.
Oh, this is a beforehand. So they still were a role playing, but it's a beforehand. Right? But I'm wondering how the past wraps into this one. I guess season finale, they're kind of doing a little bit of a backstory type deal. I wonder if we'll get more of that. That would be fun.
It has been almost a year since we left Egypt. And if everything goes well, we will finish building our tabernacle next week. It will be the celebration of the century. And I will consecrate the high priest in front of the whole nation. That's Aaron, by the way. He will be the high priest. I just need to tell him. And I need to apologize, which I will do.
That's nice.
Yeah, today...
Momo! You and I both know you should just say sorry and get it over with.
It being your sibling makes it both easier and harder.
Two things. First thing, we need a high priest for the tabernacle.
Won't you be the high priest?
You flatter me. No, actually, God picked the high priest and he chose you.
Okay, wow, thank you.
That was also one thing I was curious about, of why was Aaron high priest and not... I mean, I could understand Aaron being high priest and not Moses, but why did Moses' line not kind of link into Aaron's? I figured, if anything, it could have been both of them being their line since they're brothers, but it was...
What was the second thing?
The second thing is about you and me.
What about you and me?
Apologies.
Just wanted to say that you and me were good.
We're good.
The two of us, we're good now.
You gotta be upfront with it. You gotta be very clear and concise, otherwise misunderstandings could happen. You didn't specify what you're good about.
Brother. See, that wasn't so
I
bad.
feel like there's gonna be
I
misunderstanding.
have no idea what just happened.
Yeah. It's more or less leaned into the idea of the reason Moses' kids in line, a lineage, did not link into the priesthood was because he kind of basically forthrew, is that the word? Or is that a word? I'm not sure. He basically gave up that right when he complained about not wanting to go to speak. So it was kind of like an honor given to Aaron as since you were the mouthpiece, since you followed through with this, and Moses did not, then that's kind of a consequence on Moses' behalf and his lineage. Which I'm sure he didn't really care much, because Moses very often was just like, I'm following you, Lord, and that's good enough for me. I don't care about all the glitz and the glam. Because he didn't care to be the mouthpiece, so I'm sure he didn't really care about the rest.
We should have auditions. Wouldn't that be fun?
A talent show? Or I guess that wouldn't be, that would just be in auditions.
That sounds so exciting.
Oh,
I'll get started on the flyers right away. Oh, Miriam, just you wait.
There's a big event coming up, and it is my job to invite everybody. My birthday! Last
Oh,
year,
no.
my birthday was on the day we left Egypt, so there was not
And
much
this one's
time to
gonna be
celebrate.
different. Either one of two things is gonna happen. He's going to assume the whole ordeal is his, or for him, or he's gonna get his feelings hurt because he's going to realize everyone forgot again.
You're invited! There you go. Thank you. Tell everyone, tell your friends.
The grand opening will be next week on the first day of the first month.
All right, so update. The tabernacle opening will be the same day as my birthday party.
Yeah, you've locked in to being a holiday baby.
It's not going to be ready.
What's not going to be ready?
The tabernacle. It's not going to be ready in time. You're going to have to delay the opening.
I heard you and Moses spoke, and I am so glad all of that is over with now.
What did Moses say we spoke about?
Oh, you know, just that the two of you made up after all of the tension between you guys. I'm so glad to hear he apologized and you forgave
I'm
each
wondering
other.
how this is gonna go.
Apparently, Moses and I had two different conversations. There's what he told Zipporah happened and what actually happened.
I mean, he could just be like, oh, he tried to, so I'm just gonna be like, goody. Let's just go ahead and just have water in the bridge. But that doesn't seem like that's gonna be the deal. But we have to be careful not to assume that everyone's just trying to have their own kind of evil or mean intentions. Because sometimes people, like in this kind of situation, he was trying to apologize, it didn't come out right.
And it looks like you're almost finished.
Almost finished? Like this one is all wrong.
Which one are you talking about?
This one.
They all look exactly the same.
Maybe to you, but not to the Lord.
I think you're being a little hard on yourself, Bezalel. This is beautiful.
Especially since he did the idol, so he's gonna want to be extra vigilant? Extra right. He's gonna be perfectionist about it.
Do you agree that we won't be ready in time?
I know we could be ready, but I'm not sure if he will be ready.
What do you mean?
Well,
Ah.
I can't find a flaw in any of them.
We gotta be careful that we don't let shame overrule us. It's good to try to make things as well done as possible, especially as being a creator for the Lord, but we have to understand that us being human, everything is not going to be extremely perfect. There's a difference between doing your best and trying to make sure that you are keeping yourself accountable to do so, and then putting too much pressure on yourself to do perfect.
I've been more hands-on today, just to see if Bezalel really needs me to talk to him. He does.
No, 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 no. Who authorized this? This suspension is meant to go here, and this one is meant to be there.
Two things about perfectionism. You can end up doing things too well that ends up messing things up. Like being an artist, sometimes you have to take a step back from your work, whether it be writing or art of illustration or anything like that, because you could be looking at it for too long and then just seeing flaws where there aren't. Or it just delays, and then a imperfect piece that is still to the best of your ability is far better than a never complete piece. Like if you always redid a book because you were worried that it wasn't right, if you always redid an illustration because you weren't worried it was right, if you always redid music or whatever it may be, then it's never going to be done, and it will never be out, and you'll never be able to go to the next project. And one thing that I love about creating is a finished product. Like I enjoy doing, and once it's done, that there's like this amazing feeling of just like, oh wow, like it is complete. I did this, like the Lord gave me this kind of inspiration. Like that is so amazing. But you don't get that if it's never done. So you have to be careful about that.
Make peace with your wives, men. Tomorrow the real work begins.
What would that be?
Tell us your name and tribe.
Esther, tribe of Naphtali.
You may begin when you're ready.
Thank you.
They will definitely balance each other well, of one being the harsh critic and the one being the empathetic.
Every morning, every evening, ain't we got fun? Not much money, milk or honey, ain't we got fun?
Not bad. But I mean, with Korah, he's gonna be harsh until it's right.
All right, let's compare notes. Here's my list of the best. And here is mine. That's everyone, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Let's pray about it.
I like how softer she's become towards Zippy. Like, just understanding of how, like, sweet she is, and just being like even a couple episodes ago where she's just like, you know what, I don't want to be the one to crush her, and then just let things move on.
Funny thing, Zipporah talked to me.
Oh, good.
He's gonna harass him about this.
She told me that you told her that we talked and that you apologized.
Yes, and I'm so glad that's all behind us now.
Well, it's interesting because I don't remember that being how the conversation went.
This is when sometimes you need to learn to hold your tongue. If somebody's not realizing that you apologize, or not accepting your apology because they didn't realize it was, or there was some kind of issue with it, we need to understand that even though we meant it to be an apology, we shouldn't be taking it so harsh that it didn't come across the same, and that we should be considerate. And then sometimes holding your tongue, because you don't want to ruin something you just tried to fix. And sometimes we should realize that sometimes people aren't going to accept our apology, and that doesn't mean that we should go against them. That just means we need to understand that nothing else said is really going to do anything. That maybe we can try to reframe it, but in the end, we can only do so much. So if doing more isn't going to help, then sometimes just staying quiet might be best. That's if reframing it for them isn't going to work. Like keeping in mind that we don't need to assume that they're trying to be mean or negative, that sometimes they just might be coming from hurt feelings, and that they might just need to hear it in a different way.
Don't tell Zipporah I said this, but working with others has been nice.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Oh, Miriam, you are starting to soften. I knew it.
And she really has, and it's so sweet. That's what being around good people will do to you, is they will soften your edges. But it's also what being around good, stern people will do for you. If you're a people pleaser, help you harden up where you need to.
It is perfect. All of it.
I guess we have different definitions of perfect.
You should all be proud. Now I want you all to go home and get some rest before
Maybe he just needed to hear that, and maybe he'll calm down.
you finish the job. Go home to your
Of
wife.
course, of course.
No, it's not. Yeah, things aren't good.
This is so exciting.
I am pleased with how it's developed.
Oh, Miriam, I just love it.
Thank you.
Perhaps you have another song?
I do not have any other songs. Do not go through my things. This is private.
But Miriam, this is beautiful. I've never seen such adoration. You really must share it.
I don't want to.
Oh, is that Miriam's song?
My adoration is between me and the Lord.
And that is respectable. The fact that she's showing that there is some personal standing between her and God, and not just all for show. Even though she's not really been too much of for show. Like, that's nice to see.
Joshua.
No.
Caleb.
Oh, is Caleb gonna find out about Joshua's birthday and he's gonna put a little celebration for him? I bet that's gonna happen. We've already seen that he cares. He just doesn't like to show that he cares. So there's gonna be that, isn't that? Oh, yeah, he's gonna do it, isn't he?
Have you seen Bezalel?
Not since this afternoon. Why?
He did not come home. I was wondering if you could speak to him.
I'm very disappointed, Bezalel.
Don't sneak up on me like that. You could have killed me.
Bezalel?
Wouldn't be the first time you killed someone.
Emotional damage!
Shots fired.
I know you think it's perfect, but it's not. It could be better. It must be better.
How can I help?
Aww. The fact that he's just like understanding that maybe nothing's gonna be able to be done to help him except for just trying to get it being perfect.
Just want him to be pleased with my work.
He will be. Not because it's perfect, but because you obeyed him.
Another sweet moment of just like not comical. Like, I like how they do the little bit of comical, not comical type bits.
Happy birthday, Joshua.
Poor Joshua.
Let my people go!
I will not let them go.
Getting the Egyptian to play the Egyptian part?
This was not my idea, but I must admit,
It feels right.
We will observe the consecration of the high priest.
Aaron, you made a mistake building that gaff for the people. And the way I've been treating you is not good.
I like how they're overlaying this.
Forgive me. I failed you.
You really hurt me, Moses. I felt like there was nothing I could do to make things right.
That's why it's so important for us to actually forgive and actually give that opportunity and time of redemption for them and ourselves. We were redeemed, we were forgiven, and we owe that to everybody else. We don't need to let people always back in our lives if they harmed us so severely, but we should at least give them the honor and the grace that we were given.
There's one thing I know I can do is get the people to worship something. This time it's gonna be him. As for you and me, let's just say we're good.
Oh no, not another sacrifice. Hopefully he didn't friend this one.
An offering to the Lord!
That's the part I'm excited about. Like, how cool is that? Oh yeah, with a presentation like that, the Lord face down before him.
Deborah, I want to do my song.
But that is crazy to think, like, every day the Lord was with them. Pillar of fire or cloud, he was there. On top of, there was times where the Lord of God was there. Like, so it was like the Lord twice.
One thing I have asked of the Lord.
Gorgeous voice, is that her?
Birthday, schmirthday, this is the best day of my life.
Feel honored that it is on your birthday as well. You get to share something with the Lord. Even though this is for the Lord. What did he do?
I think he dropped us. Heard it was your birthday, so it's not much, but I hope you like it.
All the days of my life.
It's so sweet when he wants to be.
President?
He is pleased.
Sometimes that's all we need, is to remember God's love for us and how pleased he is with us for just trying our best. We need to remember that if he forgave us, then we have no right not to forgive ourselves. It's a trick from the enemy.
I am very proud of you. And my father would be proud of you too.
Thank you, Zippy.
Look,
Are we gonna see the boys?
The boys? Go, 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 go! Wait, where did they go? Oh, we lost them. I quit.
Are we ever going to see them? Like, ever? Is that gonna be like a series finale thing? Because apparently it's not a season finale.
There she
Aww.
is, our little star.
Stop, you're embarrassing me.
So sweet.
There's only one thing left to do now.
What's that?
Pack it all up and be on the move.
Be on the move. Wait, to the Promised Land? Moses! Moses!
It's crazy that they would have to do that. Sometimes it would just be they're staying in a place for days, sometimes for months or years, I think they said. Just whenever the Lord is up and gone, so are we. What I was talking about, though, the fire. Like, I've read it so many times, but never took note that it was the Lord himself that was, like, lighting the fire. But one thing that I got confused about was, like, I would read how they said that they had to always keep the fire burning, and I never fully comprehended that it was legit. The same fire that the Lord lit for them was the same fire that they had to keep a flame. Or I guess not a flame, but had to keep going. I always assumed that it was like symbolic of once they settled down that they had to keep the flame going but they would extinguish it and then re-burn it. But no, no, no. Here's what I found out. What they would try to, or what they would do is they would put ashes on it and make it embers to where it's still going, but it's like very faint, like keeping it like minimum, but it's still going. So they would do that, and then when they would like camp again, they would like burn it up more, like get it aflame again, and they would do that over and over again. 800 years. 800 years that they did that, like as far as in once they, the same fire, I guess God lit it at Mount Sinai, and for 800 years until Nebuchadnezzar destroyed the temple was how long the flame was still going. Like even through the bad kings that were idolaters and everything, like with Jezebel and everybody, like there was still the flame going. There was still like knowing that that meant that there was still either priests devoted to God enough to somehow keep it going, or have people who were, even if they weren't fully devoted to God, were devoted at least a hint enough to have that in mind. Like that means that, like, I don't know. I don't know if that blows your mind as much as it does me, but thinking about when you read through all of the ups and downs of Israel, like how often they fell away from God, knowing that even while they were away from God, that there was still God's, for one, the symbolism of it being God's presence in Israel. But on top of that, it being the fact that there was still people stoking the fire. There was still people going in and stoking the fire through it all, like through the good kingdom and the bad kingdom and like all of that. Like that just blows my mind. And knowing, like, I learned that and like I dug into that and I thought that was so cool. Like knowing, like finding out that 800 years that they did that. And then just the whole, I don't know what it is, but thinking about, technically they did relight the fire afterwards, after they came back to Israel from Babylon, but to me that wouldn't be the same because it wasn't God lighting the fire. And the next time he lit the fire was with the Holy Spirit. So thinking about the fact that for one, he came down to light the fire for 800 years, and then that's after they had 800 years, it got extinguished, like I said, around the time of Nebuchadnezzar destroying the temple, and then coming down and relighting fire for his temple, but it being the Holy Spirit's fire in us. Like, I think that's so cool. Like, that's, I don't know, it blew my mind realizing that, because like you can read something and then just not fully click it into place. Like I said, I always assumed that it was symbolic, that it needed to be always lit, but it wasn't, of course, always lit because they had to travel. And then finding out that no, they still kept it in a way to where the coals were still alive. Like the fire was still alive. It wasn't flaming, but it still was alive enough to stoke it. Like they never had to like light it again. They just had to stoke it and like rekindle it. Like that is so cool. And in a way, if you think about it, of no matter how dull God's fire is in you, that you still, as long as it is still alive in you, as long as it's still even just embers burning, you still have the opportunity to take it to the Lord, to rekindle it and reflame it. Like no matter how dull you feel like with the Lord, there's always that opportunity to just like spark anew. And like, it is never too faint for God to make anew his life in you, to rekindle that salvation and that faith and that spirit within you of his, to make more abundant. Like no, like I don't know, that is just incredible to me. And like the more I put to it, like it just felt like reading that, and it just put something in me that I'm just like, I can tell that I can't fully comprehend what this is going to be yet, Lord, but it just, I don't know, reading that and looking that up, it just felt like I've never had it to this extent to where I could acknowledge that there was a seed that was going to turn into more. But when I read this, something about it, I don't know what it was per se, but I don't know. I read that and I'm just like, my spirit knows something that I don't. This is gonna have to brew in me. This is gonna have to be mulled over. This is gonna have to just like marinate, because I can feel that something incredible is going to be like spoken about this. I just don't know what it is yet, and it just keeps coming in pieces and little things, and it's just like incredible. But yes, this has been an extremely long one. I don't know how much I'm going to keep on the condensed form, but it's over an hour reaction, full length wise at least. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it now because I don't need to be too long. Because I don't have the space for it, and I don't know how much my phone's gonna be going space-wise. So that is it for me. That is it for this. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for staying, and thank you for staying through the rambles if you did. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whenever it is for you. It is night for me, so good night to you. Pray blessings upon you all. Goodbye.